Hey. Third time's a charm. I'm going to try to make this video short and sweet. I returned the iPad Pro that I purchased and unboxed on this channel a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to tell you why. First and foremost, the iPad Pro 10.5 inch is probably the best device that I've used in a long time. It has a fantastic display, it's extremely portable, the battery life is second to none, it's a great all-around device. It's just not particularly tailored for productivity as of yet. Despite the fact that iOS 11 is sort of honing in on this Achilles heel, if you will, of iOS on a tablet or on the iPad. They're introducing like multi-window support, and other multitasking optimizations. But despite those implementations, you can't do things that are quite simple to do on a computer, like having multiple browser windows open at once. Like, when it comes down to it, I don't want to have to rely on my iPad Pro to get me through like a 2 a.m. essay writing session. Over the past couple of weeks, I've gradually come to the realization that college is more essay driven. Like, yeah, I get writing notes for memorizational purposes because it's scientifically proven that if you write your notes out, you tend to remember them better than, typing them out. So yes, I could use the iPad Pro, I could have used, I guess, the iPad Pro to take notes on, during class, or take notes with during class, to replace, notebook and, you know where I'm going. I know where I'm going to, I just can't bother to say. I'm exhausted. But looking at it from a financial standpoint, I mean, yeah, it saves you the clutter of having several notebooks, but does it save you the cost? Not really. You can find notebooks for cents, like pennies, at Staples and such. So financially speaking, it's not exactly that practical. It's just to remove the clutter. And yeah, the iPad Pro kicks ass at note-taking. I was using Notability to doodle, and I got lost. It's great. It's a great replacement to pen and paper. It does that well, but it's inconvenient to use it for what I will be doing for the next 4 years, which is typing long-form essays. Yeah, I can get a decent Bluetooth keyboard and hook it up to the iPad whenever I need to write something, but that sort of defeats the purpose of having the iPad to begin with. It's supposed to be a touch-oriented device to use it for unique purposes, and when those unique purposes, or in my case, unique purpose, which is writing with the pencil, the worthiness of the device relative to the amount you spent on it, or I spent on it, was just kind of diminutive. So I returned it. It was great. It wasn't pleasurable returning it. I liked the device, but it just doesn't serve a purpose for me at this point in time. I can wholeheartedly recommend it to people who just want a really nice web browsing experience, wants to type up the occasional email. It can replace a laptop for a lot of old folks. Like my mom, who sits on the couch and browses Amazon all day, replies to the odd email. Yeah, an iPad Pro, hell, an iPad can replace a laptop for those people, that demographic. For a few other demographics, specifically college students, I don't think it's a good device to have unless, $800 is, something you wipe your ass with. So to replace the iPad that I returned, I ordered an HP Spectre X360, which is a really nice Windows Ultrabook that should take care of my needs, my portable workhorse needs. I just need a portable laptop. I'm going to be typing a lot, and having an iPad with an external Bluetooth keyboard in my bag all the time just seems like kind of an inconvenient workaround. And relying on inconvenient workarounds is not something you want in your college, livelihood, lifestyle, what have you. And that's how I justified returning it. Even around the house, it was a nice device, but I just never ended up using it. If I was doing something around my house, I would just use my phone instead. My phone has a 5.7 inch display. Yeah, iPad Pro has a 10.5 inch display, so it's virtually double the screen size. But I still, despite the fact that the iPad Pro had a 120 Hz display, state-of-the-art, screen technology, I just didn't find the need for it. It just felt to me like a big ol' iPod Touch. I'm comfortable with a phone/laptop lifestyle. A tablet for me is like a middleman that I don't need at this point. If I could, handily afford the iPad Pro 10.5 inch, hell yeah, I'd have it. It's nice to have, just, to know that you have a device that can do practically anything you need in just a new, hip, funky, trendy way. Is it the future of computing? Yeah, I mean, sales are back up. That's probably indicative of something, because a lot of 50-somethings only need an iPad. They don't need some old clunky Windows laptop. They can buy an iPad 2017, the one they released this year, the standard one, for around the same price. Has a much better display than that competing $329 Windows thing. It's probably easier to use and has better battery life on average, and is quicker. It's not some Atom processor running a full desktop operating system. So it's the future computing for the everyman, or the every senior, for sure. For college students, I think they just need laptops. They need a desktop class operating system, and they need it portably, right? That's an adverb. Because I was thinking my old clunky gaming laptop, yeah, I can just use that in my dorm. Well, I kind of want to have that ability to type things up with Windows OS or, Mac OS for all I care, anywhere. A laptop is just... And the thing is, the Spectre X360 can fold into a tablet. So the 2-in-1 aspect of it is probably kind of what enticed me toward the X360. I was considering the Surface laptop, but the only reason I would go for that over the X360 is because of the Windows precision drivers on the touchpad. And I know there's a way to install precision drivers on a non-precision device such as the X360. So once I do that, I would assume the X360 would be more than satisfactory. So that's it. Thanks for watching. If you have any thoughts, comments, questions, concerns, let me know. You've just been Evans99, and I'll see you next time.